Hi, my name is Decker James Schooneman, and today I'm going to be talking about three very important paintings that were instrumental to the art history of the Song Dynasty of China. First one we have is Along the River during the Qingming Festival. The Qingming Festival is a very important festival in China, and Song Dynasty decided to make a painting that captured the importance and the popularity of the festival. They focused mainly on the art of the clothing. As you can see, these little people that were painted here have very varying types of clothing. They put very much importance on it. In fact, peasants, different royals and such would wear different amounts of clothing, and clothing would be the indication of your station in the empire. Culturally, during the Song Dynasty, the greatest era in imperial Chinese history, and Northern Song officials were very different from Southern Song officials. We have in the other two paintings are examples of each. Song Dynasty court was filled with poets, storytellers, and painters, as well as calligraphers. They were some of the first to ever use calligraphy alongside paintings, which is one of the most popular art styles in China to date. Northern Song paintings, like Guo Zi, in his painting Snowy Mountain, as you can see here on the right, Snow Mountains, they were focused more on the struggle of life in a chaotic era, and that is what you see here. That's what I see, because as you can see here, these little dead trees, there's, it just seems like everything is being consumed by snow or by the cloud that is just overwhelming the mountain here. It is about the struggle of life in a chaotic world, and Northern Song officials were much more interested in bringing order to the world, whereas Southern Song officials were more interested in social reform and to capture the emotions and intimate feelings of people everywhere. And as you can see in listening to the wind under a pine tree by Ma Lin, the Southern Song Dynasty from 1127 to 1279. It is a hanging scroll that shows a very intimate person. So it's a very close-up details. That's what they were focused on. The Southern Song Dynasty were very focused on close-up details rather than large landscapes like the Northern Song Dynasty. Now, as you can see here, now this painting is actually from the National Palace Museum, and the Snowy Mountain one is actually from the Shanghai Museum. And the Qingming Along the River during the Qingming Festival painting is from the Royal Palace Museum. What drew me to this was the Song Dynasty armor, which is very artistic in nature and focuses on the importance of the art of clothing. As you can see, there is much more artistic value to it. It was some of the heaviest armor made in the entirety of Chinese history against the northern barbarian invasions of Mongol. As you can see, there's a very importance on the shoulder pads and the helmet. The helmet has feather ornamentals, the cloak, the boots. Everything is very artistic and made to look like it is meant to be an art piece rather than just a piece to protect somebody in the art of war. So the Song Dynasty placed importance on not only the art of war, but being artistic in the people that participated in the art of war, as well as just clothing in general. Just a little bit of close-ups here. Song Dynasty has plenty of these little like scale patterns that would overlap, such as plate mail and chain mail, and that's what really got me interested. And then I found that all these different techniques, artists of the time mastered the formula of intricate and realistic scenes. This was mostly used by Northern Song Dynasty officials, as they would use landscapes as a way to say how the world was chaotic or how the world needed to have order brought to it. Whereas Southern Song Dynasty were more in the foreground. They focused less on the landscape and more about the people that inhabited each landscape, and decided to focus on their intimate emotions. As you can see here, the Along the River during Qingming Festival sort of takes a little bit of a take of both. This is another version of it. And there's people in the foreground, but there's still a large landscape in the background. It focuses on the overarching picture of the entirety of the empire, which is one of the most visual art pieces in Chinese history. The song court was actually filled with entirely with court painters, calligraphers, poets, and storytellers. And it was one of the most culturally artistic eras in Chinese history. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for watching. I am Decker James Schuneman, and this was 3 artifacts that were very important from the Song Dynasty in culturally artistic importance.